Today we're going to begin a 5-part creed series on what does it mean when Christ said that it is finished. So for the next several days we're going to be on the same subject. Let me read these verses to you. This is at the death of Christ. This is Christ announcing His death in John 19:28 through 30. It says, after Jesus, knowing that now His time had finished, He said, I thirst. And they filled a jar of sour wine, and they put a sponge full of sour wine and hyssop branch and held it to His mouth. When Jesus had received the sour wine, He said, it is finished. And He bowed His head and He gave up His spirit. When you look at the word or the phrase, it is finished, you understand that Christ is making a significant announcement. What is He saying? Well, number one, He's saying that I have kept the law. Remember, God required that we keep the law. As a matter of fact, the only real way that we could gain access to heaven would be by perfectly fulfilling God's law. But because of the sin within us, we're not capable of doing that. Christ fulfilled every area of the law of God. When He said it is finished, what He was saying was the ransom had been paid. The wrath of God had been satisfied. Christ had received God's wrath. Why? Well, Christ received God's wrath in your place. Christ received God's wrath in my place. When He said it is finished, what He was saying was, I have paid for their sins in full. I have now created access to God. If you go all the way back to Genesis chapter 22, as Abraham and Isaac are walking up the hill for the sacrifice of Isaac, and Isaac says, Father, where is the sacrifice? And Abraham said, God will provide for Himself a sacrifice. That's exactly what has happened in John 19. God has provided a sacrifice. He has made atonement. He has made redemption possible. He has gained access to heaven on our behalf, that through faith and trust in what He's done, we can now be saved. Without these words, there would be no heaven for us.